The left are really going to turn against the Labour Party for this. The group Palestine Action are going to be banned and put on the proscribed list alongside groups like ISIS and Hamas, all the terror organisations. After they did this, they broke into an RAF base and vandalised a couple of the aircraft, spray painting them, and they put up a video of it showing that they were there, and they have had to pay the price now. Their group is going to be banned. Yvette Cooper is preparing a ministerial statement which is going to be due on Monday, which will put them on that proscribed terror organisation list alongside ISIS, Hamas and other groups. The left are not going to be happy at all when they find out that all their mates in Palestine Action are basically going to be considered terrorists. And we know that Israel-Palestine debacle has been a very, very difficult thing to navigate for Keir Starmer, because on the one hand, Britain is an ally of Israel and we absolutely should support them, and I think that he knows that. But so much of the left is vehemently and militantly pro Palestine, so it's been a very difficult thing for him to navigate, and I don't think this will have been an easy decision for him. So the Home Secretary has the powers to proscribe an organisation under the 2000 Terrorism Act if these are the conditions: if that organisation commits or participates in acts of terrorism, prepares for terrorism, promotes or encourages terrorism, or is otherwise concerned in terrorism. So essentially, as I said, Palestine Action is going to be considered a terrorist organisation, which is quite something. Let's take a look at how Palestine Action justified breaking into an RAF base. Now, we know that this group has done, vandalised loads of places before. It's the same old Just Stop Oil lot. Just Stop Oil lot might have stopped protesting, but they've just moved to this group instead, basically. You've seen Greta Thunberg. She's gone from talking about the environment to talking about Palestine. So have all the lefties. They've sprayed red spray paint over all sorts of places and caused all sorts of chaos. But the tipping point is when they prove to be a threat to our national security by breaking into an RAF base, right at the time when everyone is talking about the fact that Britain needs to be ready for war, needs to improve its military preparedness. You cannot have a bunch of lefties jumping over fences and taking planes out of action. The 2 aircraft that they vandalised, those are out of action now. Whilst they investigate, they assess the damages and all of that. We can't have that happening at a time when we've got, all these wars kicking off. But anyway, this is what Palestine Action said to justify what they did. They said they did so because despite publicly condemning the Israeli government, Britain continues to send military cargo, fly spy planes over Gaza and refuel US-Israeli fighter jets. Britain isn't just complicit, it's an active participant in the Gaza genocide, that word, they just love throwing that one around, and war crimes across the Middle East. By decommissioning 2 military planes, Palestine Action have directly intervened in the genocide and prevented crimes against the Palestinian people. It's quite funny that they think that taking these 2 aircraft out of action has actually saved lives in Gaza, when actually these 2 aircraft weren't involved in the war in Gaza at all. They've just decommissioned 2 random aircraft. So, not sure what they achieved other than getting themselves on the proscribed terror organisation list, or about to, on Monday. And Keir Starmer, it was interesting how Keir Starmer responded to this act of vandalism. There's been a lot of outcry about it, and he tweeted, he had to come out and say something, right? And he says, the act of vandalism committed at RAF Bryce Norton is disgraceful. Our armed forces represent the very best of Britain and put their lives on the line for us every day. It's our responsibility to support those who defend us. Sounds like quite a nice tweet, right? And quite patriotic. But then Chris Rose pointed out this, that Keir Starmer has failed to even mention Palestine Action in his tweet, or the term far-left extremism. If the perpetrators held different views, he would easily brand it as far-right extremism. That's a very good point, I think. We've heard Keir Starmer call people far-right thugs. We heard him call people calling for a national inquiry into the grooming gangs, people jumping on a bandwagon of the far-right. You don't see quite the same damning terminology when it comes to this group, even though he's condemned them. Now, they've just, breaking news in the past hour, been banned, and this is what they've put out. They say, today we exposed Britain's direct involvement in the genocide and how ordinary people can act to stop it. In response, the political establishment rushed to call us terrorists whilst they enact the worst crimes against humanity. No amount of smears or intimidation tactics will waver our solidarity with Palestine. We will break every link in the genocidal supply chain. Really? I mean, first of all, it's not genocide. If it's genocide, they're not doing a very good job of it, because they could have, Israel could have wiped out the population of Gaza in about 5 minutes if they wanted to, but they have, been extremely careful to minimise civilian deaths. So it's not really genocide. They're not doing a very good job of it. But even if it was, you think you guys, Palestine Action, you think you guys are going to break every link in the genocidal supply chain? I mean, these lefty students sat on their bums at home in their mum's basements, they really think that they can end wars? I don't think so. I don't think Netanyahu reads that and goes, I better end this war. Better stop this war in Gaza. I mean, oh my goodness. Here's another lefty who's up in arms about this, who says, if you ban Palestine Action, you ban all of us. We are all Palestine Action. All of us? I'm not Palestine Action. I don't know what he's talking about. Palestine Action represents us and we represent them. The heinous plan by the UK government to ban this heroic group is an endorsement of the Zionist genocide in Gaza and all Israeli crimes across the region. So there we go. That is the outcry. As I said, this is going to turn a lot of people against the Labour Party. Yvette Cooper, when she puts out that, well, we've heard the news now, but when she puts that statement out on Monday and officially makes them a proscribed group, the left are going to go absolutely insane about this. And, you tell me what you think in the comments below. Is this an infringement on free speech to ban this group? I'm very pro free speech, and I think that everyone has the right to protest, but I do think that there are some reasonable restrictions to have on protests. I mean, for example, just the typical pro-Palestine marches that happen every Saturday that have been going on for nearly 2 years now. The cost to the Met Police of policing those protests every single Saturday, I can't remember the exact figure, but it is astronomical. Can't we say, yes, you have a right to protest, but maybe you can do it once a month rather than every single Saturday, because we actually got knife crime to fight. We've spoken about how tight the policing budget is. We've had Mark Rowley, the head of the Met Police, crying out, writing letters with other police chiefs to the government saying we desperately need more money if we're going to hit our pledges to half knife crime and half violence against women and girls. If they didn't have so many Palestine protests to police, then they'd have more money. So that's just one example of where I think there can be a restriction without infringing on your free speech. Now, this group, they can say whatever they want, right? They can hold up a banner saying whatever they want, as long as it's not actively supporting, say, a proscribed group saying, we love Hamas, right? Or if they are causing vandalism of private property. They've gotten away with way more vandalism of private property than they should have, in my opinion. They've spray painted so many buildings and places and just covered them in graffiti, private property, and completely gotten away with it. So to suggest that this would be an infringement of free speech, banning a group that is vandalizing not just anywhere, but our military equipment that is so crucial to the security of this country, I think they deserve to go. But let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, I'm Chloe Dobbs. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any more videos.